Hi everyone, my name is Carlos Miguel Rodrigues and I am a Fondesit postdoctoral fellow at the Institute of Government and Public Affairs of the Austral University of Chile. My paper entitled The Design of Budget Transparency Policies in Latin America, a Comparative Analysis, received the JCPA Best Comparative Policy Paper Award at the CLAD conference this last November. This award was granted by a joint committee of JCPA and CLAD, and I want, of course, to thank both institutions for this recognition. About the research question, method, and findings, in this paper, what I tried to do is to explain why different Latin American countries, despite following similar budgetary traditions and facing similar pressures, have shown in the last 2 decades very different levels of budget transparency and oversight. For this purpose, I adopt a policy design perspective and apply a comparative congruence method to a sample of 16 countries. My main argument here is that these cross-national differences can be partly explained by the policy design patterns that these countries have adopted in the domain of budget transparency. By building an inventory of transparency policy instruments, I unpack the broad concept of budget transparency and identify three distinct policy styles, which I empirically observe in the cases through their legal, organizational, and technological attributes. So the first style conceives transparency mainly as a tool for consolidation and budget rationalization. It aims to facilitate the monitoring and macrofiscal control by the ministries of finance. The second style focuses on disclosing budget information to the public, but this information is still produced primarily according to the public financial needs of the government, so it follows a supply-driven approach. And the third style corresponds to open budgeting, where policy instruments are designed to diversify and adapt the information to the different demands and needs of oversight actors. And there are also instruments that threaten the capacity of these oversight actors to use this information. So across the region, countries show different levels of progress adopting these policies. And what I find is that these differences are associated with varying levels of effectiveness in budget oversight. The main contribution of this paper is to highlight the value of a comparative policy design perspective for explaining both the evolution of budget transparency and the effectiveness of budget oversight mechanisms. This paper is just a first step in a broader research project, but I think it helps unpack this broad concept of budget transparency by focusing on what kind of information is covered by transparency regimes, which formats and languages are used, and which audience or users this information is designed for. JCPA is an essential international journal for those who study comparative policy analysis. I am very grateful for this recognition, especially because this paper is just one part of a broader research project about the institutionalization of budget transparency in Latin America. And I hope that this partnership between JCPA and CLAD continues to grow and continues to contribute to the strengthening of comparative policy research in Latin America, as this is a region that offers particularly rich conditions for understanding a wide range of policy challenges.